ShartimusPrime, ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe for more things. Colors up. Where does foot come from? What the hell? Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another Transformers review on the Transformers masterpiece Optimus Prime Toys R Us exclusive figure. Gotta give a big thanks to Incline Designs and HasbroTRU for hooking me up with this figure, for setting me up. Incline Designs and we went toy hunting. Would you believe it or not, while we were looking, all the Optimus Primes were gone, and I happened to be recognized by this really cool dude, HasbroTRU, and he had actually snagged himself a couple, and he sold me one. And man, thank you so much. Feel famous, you know, feel important, you know, it makes my feelings inside feel all bubbly and stuff. I love this figure. Now, I had played with the MP-10, which is the Takara version of this figure, which is practically the same thing. It just has darker red and darker blue and darker gray and just slightly different colors and other things here and there, but for the most part they're the same exact figure. This guy is more than half the price. This guy cost me 120 bucks. The masterpiece MP-10, that one goes for like 250. So Sean did a smart thing by, you know, switching these out. And this is a pretty light figure compared to other masterpiece figures. He's mostly plastic. So before I get too much into this figure, I want to get into all the deeds, show off the box, and get into all the little accessories that he comes with. I usually don't show the packaging for figures, but this came out just too cool to leave it alone, man. Got Optimus Prime over here with the Matrix of Leadership popping out. Got Spike Wiki, we got Roller right there. You got the Optimus Prime Blaster, you got the Optimus Axe right there. I think this just came out too cool, and I really like how it resembles the original, you know, Hasbro Masterpiece box right here. This is the one for Skywarp, which is actually a birthday gift for a friend of mine who, you know, he's never really given me anything for my birthday or Christmas ever. And, you know, I've just been in, you know, a good spirit lately and figured I'd get him something, even though he's never gotten me anything awesome, ever. Nope, never has. And there's the back of the packaging and my reflection. Hey, do you see me? Do you see me? I'm a-dancing in the reflection. I'm a-dancing in the reflection. So here's a Spike Wiki figure, and you can tell he doesn't really have much of a face, but it's kind of sculpted there. And he's got, you know, nice pocket and everything. So this guy, a little nice detail in it. It's not a bad minifigure, you know what I mean? It's like double the size of my thumbnail, I guess. So it's a very, very small figure. His head doesn't move at all. His arms move forward. He has no waist articulation. His legs move forward. They move out a little bit, not really. He bends at the knee. So that's pretty cool. They gave him that bit of articulation so that he could sit in his different compartments throughout the figure. Where are we going, Optimus? Where are we going, Optimus? Where are we going? Where are we going, huh? What's this do? We're gonna pick some apples, Optimus? And here's Optimus Prime's blaster, which is the best MP blaster for Optimus Prime I think we have ever seen. All of the masterpiece versions have had some kind of funky color going on. I had to repaint my MP-04 because even that one came out crappy. So this is a really good gun. I like all the details on it and everything. I think they did a kick-ass job on this thing. Even got some detail inside the gun itself, so I like that a lot. This is very cool. Now, especially cool thing about him is that it actually kind of transforms. You want to fold this up and then push forward. So this thing is all spring-loaded. You want it to click like that, and then it'll stay into place. And then to release it, you just push forward on this little gray piece right here, and it all comes apart, and you gotta shift it in. So we're gonna put this back into its storage mode. There it is, and then get Optimus Prime, and you can just stick it into the back like that, and fold this up, and now Optimus has the blaster stored in the back, which is super cool because I remember in the cartoon a lot of the time he just reaches behind his back to grab his blaster, so that's badass. Optimus also comes with Roller, which is very, very, very slick. I love that he comes with Roller. The MP-10 has a gray silverish roller, but this one's fine too. I think he changed colors back and forth between gray and blue like this in the cartoon. I like how they even have detail painted right over here. These are plastic tires, but I do like how that they are actually sculpted, so that is very, very cool. And aside from fitting Spike Wiki over here, what you got to do is you got to take this piece out right here. Now, I recommend when you get into transforming this figure that you do have some kind of tool, because this thing can be a pain in the ass. I like to just stick this in between right here, and then that kind of just lifts it up a little bit. You want to use it as little as possible. So you could fold this backwards, I think that's very tight. And you could just actually take the blaster and you could stick it in there, which is very, very cool. I like that a lot. Now, another thing you could do with roller is you could fold this all the way back right here, and then you rotate this all the way down and put this back right there, and then what you can do is you could put the trailer, attach the trailer to roller himself. You can see these two pegs right here. They're actually going to go on the outside of this rectangular piece right here, and just slide that in like so, and there you have roller with the trailer, which, you know, looks pretty good. You know, it's not too bad. Wheels around. I'm kind of off camera here, but you can see it right there, you know. Not bad, not bad at all. I'm ruining my backdrop, it's all good. Optimus also comes with his axe, and, you know, it's this cool translucent plastic, and you can see it kind of has a little bit of a fade effect going on right here. I'm not as much of a fan of this as I'd like to be. I do like the one that came with the MP-04 more. This has much more detail in it, just in the sculpt and in the color shading. This is a lot flatter, and it's kind of weird that the MP-04 is a much larger figure, but the axe is a lot smaller, so it's not too bad. And the way you attach it is kind of whack too. It's like you can only put it on this right hand, and it's got this empty slot right here that fits in, so it's kind of hard to see. You have to make sure that Optimus is making a fist, and then you take the axe and put it so that this slot right here is where the thumb goes, and it goes right into place like so. There's Optimus Prime with his axe, which actually doesn't look too bad if you're looking at it from a low point of view. It's just when you look at the top and you see this right here, it's kind of weak. And here's a look at Optimus Prime's trailer, which is pretty cool. At first glance, I saw that this Autobot logo right here, I immediately thought that it's supposed to be closer to this part right here, but I did see Optibotimus's review, and he did mention that in the cartoon it actually is further back, and after looking at some pictures, yeah, he was right. It's located right here in the cartoon, which the Masterpiece figures are trying to do. They're trying to make it look a lot more cartoon accurate. But I absolutely love this trailer. I mean, this trailer is really kick-ass. It's, I mean, dude, it's solid. It's really got a nice shiny silver paint going on here and everything. I like that they used clear plastic right here for the taillights, so these are red and clear plastic, and you can even see little grooves going up and down in there. That's very, very cool. Just a lot of detail in this thing. They even put a ton of detail on the doors back here. I think that's great. I love the detail underneath. You can see the spare tire. I mean, they just nailed it with this thing. They got it all over the place. And then these move up and down, so you can pull these out like that. It's very cool. And then you can swing this stuff outwards right here. And then as you rotate them, this thing right here tends to swing out on its own. That's a very cool effect that they have going on like that. And then, now one thing that's a pain in the ass, and I actually did cut my finger. Look at that. I got a little boo-boo. You see the little boo-boo right there? You see the boo-boo? You see the little scratch right there? That's from trying to peel this guy open. After you do it the first time, it's easier. And whoa, you got the trailer. Dude, Incline Designs did a crazy custom on this thing where he painted up details like up the ass all over this thing. It's insane what he did here. But I also really like how they made this so that you can slide this out right here, and then this comes down, so you could have roller, you know, set up over here. And he doesn't have the spring, you know, function where it shoots out like on the old school one, but they still did put it right here inside the trailer. It's just doesn't have the function, and it shoots out, and you can have him roll down. So, you know, let's give him a little push. Hey, pretty cool, huh? Not too bad. Really cool thing about this trailer is that you could actually store his weapons in here. So there's a place for everything. So you could take the Energon axe, and you have to make sure like the chodiest side of these spikes, which is this one right here, it's the thickest, shortest kind of one, that's going to be at the bottom right when you put this in here. You're going to have the axe facing towards this thingy, and you just slip it in like so. It actually has a little, you know, hole thing for it to plug into, so you could plug the axe right there. One thing that kind of sucks is that this piece does come off quite easily. I also like that you can actually store the blaster inside the trailer too, so you could take the gun like so, and then just kind of wedge it in there. It feels kind of weird, but you can get it in there. Seduce it into that slot. There you go. There you go. Look at that. Not too bad. Not too bad. And it stays in there. You shake the shit out of it, and it's not going to fall out. Yeah, shake those things. It's just going to stay here. I forgot what this dude's called over here, but this is pretty cool. It has a couple of joints right here. So you have this ratchet joint that moves like this, and it bends at 2 points over here. So one right over there, and then one right over here. So that's pretty damn cool. Then if you flip it all the way forward, it bends up and down right here, and it moves side to side. It's got this claw thing, so it rotates backwards even, and you can spin it around back and forth right there. So not does it just bend back here, but it also bends over here. Then you have two joints over here, which is pretty crazy. They really loaded this thing up with articulation. And then this, moves up and down. Then the other side of it, you have this radar dealy thing that spins sideways, and you can move this back and forth. And of course, you could lift this up right here and you could fit your Spike Wick Wiki. Pretty nice detail on this. I think they did a good job. Some detail right here, details right here. And I like that, they just gave it clear plastic. Looks pretty good. One little act of genius that they did here is that they made these things tab in right here on the top of the trailer. So you can see it further back over here. That you can actually pull this in. You just pull it down like that and it'll stay like that, and you do the same thing on both sides, okay? And then what you do is you lift this guy all the way up right here, pull all this together, and what you can do is you can make it so that this is actually sticking up out of the trailer, very much like the G1 version of Optimus Prime. See how that works? That's pretty damn cool. That's very G1 Optimus Prime like. See how this one is? This is a G1 trailer going on. There's a comparison to the G1 trailer. And the MP-04 has this thing too, but it's just a hole. It doesn't actually close up on you. Another really cool thing is that this serves as Optimus Prime's repair bay. So if you want him, displayed like this, it actually does work very well. I think it looks pretty damn cool. Here's a comparison between the two trailers. So there's the Toys R Us Masterpiece on the left, and there's the MP-04 on the right. And this one definitely does look a lot more G1 looking right over here. And you can see the MP-04 does come with the Megatron gun, and it does store the blaster as well. So I'm glad that they kept up the storage functions with this new Optimus Prime. And at last we have Optimus Prime. Now I picked this guy up for the hopes of just turning him into a ShartimusPrime custom. But dude, now that I actually have him and I've had some, real time with this figure, I actually would rather keep it. I don't know. I'm on the fence of either continuing to turn this guy into a ShartimusPrime custom, or having Incline Designs do it, or going out and buy an MP-01 Hasbro release to do it. I'm not sure. But, I mean, just to focus on this guy, it is just really, really badass. I love the colors. Now, like I said before, the MP-10, it has darker blues. It has darker coloring overall throughout the whole thing, which is actually the same kind of coloring that is on the MP-04. So that's the difference. That's the price difference that you're getting there. And you can see that the MP-04 is just gigantic compared to this guy. I mean, here's the, here's the Toys R Us one sitting in front of it. So you can see how much taller it is. But this Masterpiece Prime does fit in with other Masterpiece figures a lot better. Here's Masterpiece Prime compared to Grimlock. Thank you, John 3.0. Which, this Grimlock is still short. I just wish they made this guy a little bit bigger, man. Because he's supposed to be, a bit taller, at least a whole head taller than Optimus Prime. I mean, he's supposed to be taller than Prime. And there he is compared to MP-05 Megatron. So yeah, I gotta keep my MP-04. These guys are in perfect scale with each other. There he is standing next to Masterpiece Starscream, which does, I mean, these fit into scale perfectly with each other. I absolutely love it. And if you're a Binaltech / alternators collector, he fits in great with the alternators figures as well. There's alternators Jazz, and I think these are in perfect scale with each other. And then if you have Classics Bumblebee, I think Classics Bumblebee fits in here very nicely as well. So you can mix some Classics figures in here, but the thing is, if most Classics stand just a little bit taller than Bumblebee, so it's like you want to go with these guys more so. About a 10-inch figure, maybe a little bit more. I just love how the head sculpt came out for this Optimus Prime. I think it's very, very cool. One tiny little thing is that the ear right here, or antenna, is kind of bent on this just a little bit. I may have done that from transforming it, but otherwise it's very, very cool. The eyes are a dull blue. They don't have that same shiny metallic paint that the MP-04 does. See, here's the MP-04, and I really like how that reflects light very well. A couple of little things that the MP-04 does also is that there's a button on his back so you can get him, I am Optimus Prime, or I am John 3.0. Another thing that this MP-04 has that the TRU Prime doesn't have is the light up Matrix of Leadership, which isn't too much of a big deal that it's not there, but I always thought this was kind of cool. So to get the Matrix of Leadership out of Optimus Prime, I do end up having to use, a tool right here. So, lifting this silver part isn't too much of a pain in the butt, but getting this black piece right here out is. So you just want to come up to the side, and just give it a little nudge. There you go. You don't want to use it too much. And then there you can see the Matrix. Woo. So I've heard that if you push down on one side, it'll flip up the other end right there, and then you could pull the whole thing out. There it goes. Now I got it. So here's the Matrix of Leadership. Very, very cool. It's got a lot of chrome going on here, and there's some weight to it too. So I think this middle piece right here is die cast. And then compared to the MP-04 Matrix of Leadership, you can see it right there. Now this one's a little cooler because it has the function where you can spread it apart like that. Can't do that on this one at all. You could, no, it's not going to happen. But I do like that they have a lot more detail right here, so it looks like a gem or a stone or something like that. This one has that too, but just a little bit, you know, just a couple of angles on there. This guy really has a lot of detail on it. Very, very nice. And as I had mentioned before, that the MP-04 does come with this Optimus Prime gun, which I did try to get this Optimus Prime right here to hold, but it's kind of tricky. It doesn't really work. But if you could, you know, figure out a way for him to hold it where it doesn't look too weird, I guess that'd be cool. But then again, we have Roller with this Optimus Prime, which is pretty badass. I really like that on the windows. It has this blue tint going on right here, so I think that is very, very cool. You can see how it's blue right there. Another thing is that his chest plate does close a lot better than on the MP-04. That was a big problem for a lot of people. That was very frustrating. I do like the silver paint that they used right around here, all around here. The chromed out smokestacks, very cool. Chromed out grill. You got this transparent yellow plastic, which looks very nice. He's got a blue cod piece or something right there, more chrome right here, and he has his flaps, which don't close, you know, which isn't a big deal or anything like that. And there's his feet right there. And then another thing the MP-04 does have that this doesn't have is that there's these like communicator window thingies right there that this guy does not have. But see on the MP-04, these kind of lift up right there. You can see he's talking to Grimlock. It had buttons and everything on the inside right there. Then on this side, folds up on this side too. And he's chit-chatting with Megatron, which I always thought was kind of weird. See how that swings open on the MP-04. So this guy does not have as much articulation as the MP-04, but I still love the articulation on this figure regardless. So his head moves pretty far up, which is pretty cool, and it moves far down. I mean, due to the transformation, this thing rocks back and forth over here, so that's pretty rad. And it moves side to side, and his antennas are articulated, so I don't know if he wants to wear them backwards, I guess, if he wants to, I don't know. And he has shoulder articulation that moves forward, and it moves out right here. And what's actually really cool is that you can move the arms around a lot, and if you don't like looking at these gray hinges that are popping out over here, you can pose them and then kind of shove them in so that they're less visible, because, you know, on the cartoon he didn't really have that. So it's like when you pose your Optimus Prime, you kind of want it looking like that more than anything, as opposed to like this. He has a swivel right here above, or at his elbow. I didn't have that transformed all the way, that's my bad, but it rotates right here, and it bends at 90 degrees like that at the elbow as well. The wrist moves side to side on this guy, and these three fingers move all together, and then you could also move his index finger by itself, and it also bends right there. So that's, he has great waist articulation. This is awesome. His legs move all the way out. They move forward that far. He bends at the knee, so it's got 90 degrees at the knee. His ankle articulation is pretty cool. He has a heel that moves down due to the transformation. Same thing with the toes. You can move the toes like that, and the whole thing moves up and down like that, and you get an ankle pivot, and it moves inward too, which is always a little easier to pose inward than outward. So the biggest fail from Hasbro on this is that this figure does not come with instructions. Got your boy Shartimus showing you how it's done right here. Actually, you're going to have Bumblebee show you how it's done. Take us away, dude. We're going to take the legs first off and going to go ahead and tuck these in. So fold the feet in like that, alright? And then what you want to do is take his shins and flip them all the way inward like so. Do the same thing to this side right here. Hit these tabs, and you want to make sure the legs are actually nice and straight because they're going to sink in. And you're going to hit this tab right here, and this is going to shift right in like so, which is way easier than how it works on the MP-04 or MP-01 anyway. Then you can see these clips in the middle, and they attach together like that, which is very nice. That's pretty damn cool. And then right here, there's this cover for the wheels, and you're going to flip this outward like this. And then same thing to this side. So there that goes. And these pieces are actually a little on the big side, so they kind of run into each other. It doesn't really fit perfectly well, but not a big deal. We might as well tuck the hands in, so you're going to lift this panel right here downward, and then you're going to rotate the fists towards Optimus Prime's head and go like that. and then close this up and do the same thing to this side over here. Make sure the fist is closed, rotate it towards Optimus Prime's head, and then close that up like that. Then we're going to rotate his whole body around, and then you could open up the chest cavity. Now I like to tuck the arms a little farther back because you're going to need the space. Then you're going to pull this back right here a little bit, and we're going to pull this section down like so, and pull this section down like so. You can see his tires already. It's kind of a weird fit, but you're going to rotate it upwards towards you like that, and do the same thing over here. Then you could fold this flap down, pull this piece up right here. So you're going to pull all these chrome pieces right here that are going to form the front of the figure. You're going to put this together here and rotate this down. And you kind of want to get these flipped up right here to get out of the way. Straighten this out right here. And then now we can take Optimus Prime's head and tuck it underneath like so. Before you fold the arms in, you want to pull this flap down right here. Pull this flap down like so. And then go ahead and shift the arms into themselves like that on both sides. And then tuck it backwards. And then rotate at the elbow inwards. And then you're going to kind of finagle that in right there. Oh, I said finagle, yeah. Gotta finagle the figure, baby. And then shove these in like that. And you can see how this front piece is going to rest on top right there. Push all this stuff in here. Close, and then, oh, you don't want to close those yet. And then we're going to take these pieces and flip this up like that and like that. And then you can see how all these chrome parts are going to tab in right there. So you can see how that tabs in. This side right here. Make sure everything's all flush. And this is going to get tabbed in like that as well. Close the doors. Make sure this is all nice and tight over here. And then there's actually two pegs right here in the back that go into his waist section. So you're going to lift all this up and then sneak it into those tabs right there. Oh, this came out. And then you want to take these cans right here, and there's these slots right in there, and you're going to tab that into place and then tab this into place. But now here's a tricky thing, is that every time you try to mess with those, you're going to mess with the legs at the same time. So you get all those into place and it should be good. You kind of want to let these things overlap each other because they're not totally flush, which is kind of a pain in the ass. And then you take his smokestacks and you push that downward right there, so you can see how they go from over here. And then you want to take his rear view mirrors and pull each of these out. So that looks pretty damn sweet. And here's Optimus Prime complete in his truck mode. Well, actually he doesn't have his trailer attached to him, so he's a little incomplete, but there you go. He rolls very nice. I just think this is a very, very good version of, I mean, this is just way better than the MP-04 that I have, or the MP-01 anyway. I mean, here's a comparison for you. Now this guy's way larger, but I never really liked how this cab looked. I just thought that this one was always, you know, you have this big black space right here and this indentation right here. I just felt like this didn't really look a little G1, didn't look very G1-esque, and it does have shocks, which is actually a really cool thing that all the tires have that. I always like that function, but I prefer the look of this figure right here. And this just looks way better. This is awesome as hell. Absolutely love this. Just look at that, all the detail on this. Love the chrome headlights right here. Got the grille, blue tinted windows, silver stripe right here. All this detailed plastic. That's where the trailer goes in right there. Again, this doesn't, you know, when you plug the trailer in, these legs do stay together a little bit better. Got some taillights right there that aren't really painted on. And one thing I had seen before is that on the MP-10, the Takara version, these lights right here are not painted on. It's just solid plastic. Just a very, very cool alt mode. And the tires seem like a little on the thin side, but they're made out of rubber. It's very cool. Just very cool all around. Love it. So plugging the trailer into Optimus is a little tricky. You can see what I'm trying to do here. You know, and there it goes. Alright, cool. We got it. Now we have a fully assembled Optimus Prime. This is so cool, man. I absolutely love this. And you can turn them like this. Again, wheeling around this way. Ah, it's so damn tight, man. I love it. Open that up. Open this up right here. And then you just pull this out. You know, you play with the rollers some more, you know. Now here I have Optimus with the Alternator's Jazz figure in its alt mode, and one thing that you could look at it as a perk or a downside of the figure, but I don't really think it fits into scale too well with the Optimus Prime. I think this is just way too large of a car compared to this truck right here. But if you really want to, you can have Jazz displayed inside Optimus, so you can have him roll out. Oh, and it kind of rolls out right there. But I cannot fit the Alternator's Ravage inside here. It just does not fit. The wheels are too wide and everything. And thank you to JRA Nightmare for this figure right here. So the plus side of this, though, is that it does fit in perfectly. I think it fits in perfectly with classic-sized figures. So there's Generations, or it's not Generations, but that is the Reveal the Shield Jazz right there. And here's Classics Ratchet, and here's the Generations Swerve. So I think it actually works really well with the classic scales figures while Optimus is in his alt mode, which is a huge plus because I have a lot of classic sized figures. So I think that is really cool. I like that a lot. That's really, making me love this figure even more, that you can set him up with, your other figures. So yeah, that's my review, you guys. Thanks for watching, and big thanks again to Incline for taking me out for the ride to get this Optimus Prime, and thanks so much to AKREV for selling me this figure, man. Thanks so much, man. I'm very, very happy with this guy. Still haven't decided whether I'm going to try to turn him into a ShartimusPrime or not. Kind of fallen in love with this figure, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And if any of you guys happen to have an extra one of these, I know they're really hard to come by, and they cost 120 bucks now. They started at 100, but now they've shot up to 120. But if you have any extras, please let me know. Incline Designs is looking for one, so I feel kind of bad that he's the one who drove me out to the Toys R Us, and I ended up with an Optimus Prime and he didn't. So if any of you guys have a hookup on an Optimus, please let me know. Alright, that's my review. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Peace.
Crispy.
Where we going, Optimus? It's almost in there. And yeah, there it goes. You don't have that shame. Did not include instructions on how to transform. So that's what you got. You got your boy Optimus. Ah, shit.